All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in this week. So Q&A back. We weren't on last week because we were at Rocky Top, right? So Rocky Top Diesel Shootout down in Tennessee put on ODSS and by RLC down in Crossville, Tennessee. Is that right? Why do I always forget that town? It's Crossville, yeah. So we had a really, really great time. Got to see and meet a lot of you, and we appreciate you all coming by the booth. Some super, super fast trucks and cars at the races. I know that the Stainless guys did a good job. I know Ben Shaddy did good in his class. Can't think of what the 6.0, the Warren Diesel truck did really, really good. Can't think of that guy's name. But just, it's amazing to see where the industry is going because these trucks are getting faster every year. So
it's nice to get
really good, yeah. Yeah, it's good to get out and see people. It was definitely that too. So, this show is about question and answer, so we really appreciate your questions and being able to answer. This is viewer driven, so
if we don't have questions.
No questions. No good. Let's see.
I wrote Wade a script again. If you guys are wondering what he's doing, I wrote him a script again. It's been a while, so we're going through it. Wade doesn't like it when I write him scripts.
Last week, we saw that where DDP made a huge horsepower fuel only number. Lenny has done a really, really good job with that. I know those guys are really, really excited for it. They're shooting for a 3,000 horsepower number. I'll say that may not be what his recipe is, but they're back on the drawing board right now, looking for a higher number than what they got. I think it was 339.
2,500 on fuel only and an 80 psi boost.
Yeah, and it's huge. The one thing with DDP that's so exciting for those guys is they have brought in the extrude home process into their facility. So they're doing some really, really good stuff right now. So definitely check them out. Check out the follow along with the build on social media and whatnot. Don't know if we're going to get football this year. I like this point Adam brought up here. We don't know if we're going to get football this year. I know that our local high school football has been moved back to September. I don't know what you guys have got in your local area, but I guess we're all still holding out hope that we get college football this year because we need something to watch on TV. I'm glad baseball's back, but it's odd to watch baseball with nobody in the stands. So not that makes a big deal, but there it is. All right, so we got a couple questions. Let's do that. Brandon Glenn says, I was banned last Q&A, but hey, I ordered a few fast DDRPs. Sir said it would be getting a free sticker. I never got my sticker. We banned somebody from Q&A?
Banned anybody from Q&A.
That's what I was going to say. I didn't think we have, Brandon.
That must have been a Facebook thing.
Yeah. Oh, you probably got Facebook banned, buddy. If we owe you a sticker, we'll get you a sticker, Brandon. Adam is going to reach out to you as soon as the show is over, and we will get you taken care of.
Yeah, shoot the page a message, Brandon, and I'll take care of it.
Yep, shoot the page a message. Keith Isaacs, I miss Judgment Days. Judgment Day is a good event for us. We're just trying to expand to be able to get motorsports into our show and just a bigger venue for our vendors. It's nice to have everybody here, but really it's taxing on our dyno, the way that we do the classes and things like that. So that's one thing that we have.
I feel that it was safe anymore, and the whole point of it was we wanted to put on a family-friendly event.
Yes, absolutely.
And they were, if you came to Judgment Day, you know what wasn't safe about it, and we'll just leave it at that.
Courtney Cook Price. And Courtney, I want you to know, before I read your comment, I really felt like the small number of times that you and I have been around each other, I felt like you and I were on a team. And I know that Boo is your husband, but I really felt like you and I had a connection as teammates. It was you and I versus Boo. Apparently, according to your comment today, Courtney, you and I are not on a team. So I'm going to read Courtney Cook Price's message, who is now not on my team. And she says, Wade, how do you have time to watch TV when you are always working on your hay mower? Which is very, very funny, Courtney. I have to work on my hay mower because, and you'll know a lot about this, because I own New Holland equipment. And as you probably know, don't maybe want to say it out loud, but New Holland equipment is basically junk. So, there's that. So I have to work on it a lot. Thankfully, I get enough time to come into work. But thank you for reaching out to the show, Courtney. Great.
Give him a little update on you and a little background.
Yeah.
So, as we start talking about hay mowers a ton, during this COVID season, Wade has been making some life moves.
My wife and I bought a farm, and we bought a turnkey farm. It's a pretty big blessing because we bought the herd and the equipment with it too. So I make light of John Deere equipment because everybody that knows me knows that I make light of any equipment that's not John Deere. But I'm glad to have what I've got to have. But I'll be honest with you, my kickoff to my hay season this year has been riddled with breakdowns and a Vermeer hay roller. And everybody in the little settlement that I live in is called Connorsville, Kentucky. I think they have all come to the conclusion that I am a shitty farmer. So I think they're all laughing about that. But anyway,
do you still have any meat to sell?
I do not have any meat to sell. All steers are gone. Okay, but we got a lot of people that are looking for
the Wade McGinnis meat package.
Wade McGinnis meat package. That's exactly right. The Wade McGinnis meat package. So if you're looking for steers, I see Justin Cheeks North is already laughing at another comment on here. Some of the guys from S&S have bought the Valhalla beef package. So
the Wade McGinnis meat package was on his script as one of his bullet points, and he did not want to read it. So I was helping to advance them along.
Ronald Omar said, "Go hockey, Blackhawks forever." Ronald, I did not think you were a hockey fan, but man, good for you. I don't even I can't even spell hockey, buddy. His paper's saying, "Joy, my free Stevenson, no free." Saying hi with I guess more power. Yeah, we got you taken care of. Case IH for the win, Brian Abbott. Whew. All right, Don Pence, what's the benefits of regular return of 6-hour power stroke versus not running it without the aftermarket lift pump? And then obviously with Mr. Pence, he has to get in the go Vols, go Cats to you, sir. So regulated return is going to keep good, steady fuel pressure at the heads in Huey injection systems trucks. And I'm just going to say that because 7.3s and 6.0s is where we usually see the regulated return system used. Regulated fuel pressure being used on different equipment or can be used on anything, but regulating fuel pressure at the return side is something that we kind of see in the Huey injection system. So why is it good to have regulated fuel return? Because especially in these bigger injectors that we're using and even in stock injection systems, this keeps constant fuel pressure at the head and keeps the correct fuel pressure at the head. And we all know in a Huey system that the fuel pressure supplied to the injectors is critical because that pressure is made inside of the injectors, but having a jump on that and having another 55 psi goes a long way to getting the correct atomization pressure going into the cylinders at the time of combustion. So if you don't want scoring in your fuel system, in your injectors, premature wear, things like that, regulated fuel return is definitely something to look at. Oh, golly. Ryan Husted, my man, good to see you on here. Nick LeChapelle, sorry if I screwed that up, but good to see y'all this past weekend. Nick, it was good to see you, brother. Thank you for coming past by the booth. Josh Vincent, what is your opinion on the AFE Blade Runner inlet manifold? Josh, it depends on what vehicle that you have. Doing any of the intake manifolds doesn't have to necessarily be AFE, but they make a good product as well. Increasing flow, smoothing out the direction of the airflow going into the manifolds, taking away sharp turns that cause cavitation, lack of flow, things like that, and just increasing orifice size is going to increase flow as well too. So aftermarket intake manifold, if you're at a horsepower point in your build or in your truck that you're trying to squeeze out another 10 horsepower, you're wanting to try to lower EGTs and just get overall better airflow into your engine, intake manifolds, exhaust manifolds are definitely something very, very good to look at. Chris Wagner is saying, what would be your opinion in the best fix for the 48 RE shutter shifting between second and third gear? It depends on what the failure is. We talked about this in training this morning. Obviously, the solenoid upgrade that we have from ATS and Suncoast is a really, really nice upgrade for you if you've got a shutter shift. But what we're finding is a lot of people, I'll call you and say, hey, reverse is out in my truck. If I can get this solenoid block upgrade, is this going to fix it? It's not going to fix it. So, Chris, I'm going to tell you to make sure that you run all of your pressures on your transmission. Make sure your band adjustments are correct. Throw the governor solenoid block in there. Hopefully that it fixes what you have, but make sure that mechanically you're going into it with a mechanically sound transmission before you throw this.
Chris did comment later on down there, and it says transmission is still tight.
Yeah. Okay. Everything's tight. I think you're going the right direction, man.
What
I think
do we couple that with though when we
the transducer upgrade. So we do the transducer upgrade with the governor's Illinois block upgrade, and I said that I would not take a phone call from my wife, so she is chasing a bull that we have out right now. So yes, but yes, the governor's Illinois block. We recommend doing the transducer upgrade with that while you have it down, for sure. So Brandon Glenn. Question 5.9 sluggish even with the edge comp. I thought I needed a new transmission. Couldn't see 120 miles per hour. I tried barely 90 to 100 comfortably passing without being in a bind. Just got a new transmission and it still feels sluggish. Is it the fuel system? 100 miles an hour. Brandon, I'm not laughing at you, man. It's always funny when somebody says, "Hey, I've got a weird thing going on in my truck. I've got a small vibration in the truck." Sometimes it's around anywhere between 110 to 130 miles an hour. It always tickles me, so I'm not laughing at you, Brandon. I'm laughing. I'm just laughing, living with you, for sure. So, yes, fuel system is what I'm going to tell you to be checking into. Lift pump pressure at those speeds, overall condition of your fuel system as a whole is definitely something to look into, man. Ryan Purcell, 06 Dodge Ram 3500, recently put the ATS GM governor cylinder pressure block conversion kit, and it now doesn't want to shift out of first correctly. Any ideas? Ryan, I need to know a little bit more about that. Is it shifting out of first? Is it just doing it at a higher RPM? And is that the one of the other failures that you saw on that transmission? So I'm going to give my phone to Adam. I'm going to let Adam answer this phone call so he can get an idea of what's going on with my bull. Thanks to Hook Filters this past weekend, Wade. Really appreciate it. Austin, thank you, man. Awesome seeing your truck run. Awesome to make friends with you over the years that we've known you. Awesome that you are a Masonic brother of mine as well, man. So good luck to you. I'll be watching you at the rest of the races, man. Brian Abbott, 3rd Gen 5.9 Cummins, started having the issue of not idling back down below at 1K RPM. I'm thinking it's possible boost leak somewhere in the system. Y'all have any other ideas what it could be? Brian, if you are having a problem with your truck coming back down to the correct idle RPM, I'm going to tell you that there's a pretty good chance that you've got a problem in your injectors themselves. What we find there is there's control valve problems, and trucks want to hang when they're coming down from throttle. So if you wrap down on the throttle, they take a while before they want to come down and maybe not even get back to the correct curb idle. Now, this is important, and you're smiling. I hope you're smiling because she found the bull.
The wife has found the bull.
Well, that's perfect.
She wanted me to tell you that somehow love always finds a way, and that he has found his ladies.
Oh, shit. So last night I took my bulls out of the cows, and apparently he made it back. So, man, we'll have to deal with that this evening. Now, talk about that, Brian. Don't take that as obviously a injector issue. If it's coating for any injectors or anything like that, that wouldn't lend itself to not coming back down off the idle. However, it's definitely something that you want to take into consideration. Also, this could be an ECM issue. I have seen that before on the ECM. So give us a call if you got any questions on that, man. Higher RPM. Dylan Pritchard says, I'm only in a good mood when I drive my Chevrolet to work.
There's something to that.
There is something to that. And usually when I drive my Dodge to work, it means I'm going to have to do something other work-related afterwards. So I'm usually not in a very damn good mood. So, yeah, it's...
All right, so we don't have questions in a second. Let's play this game. What was your favorite... think of a good question from this weekend that you had. That wasn't the 35.
Under 35 miles an hour and have a slight vibration. Probably one of the...
talked about the regulated return question.
Yeah.
I think you answered that in there.
Yeah.
With that one. Go ahead with what you were thinking.
Seems like we had a lot of questions this weekend, in particular, face-to-face questions about turbo upgrades, and I think that that's something that's coming more prevalent, especially in today's trucks. People are always looking for the next step in horsepower, and especially when it comes to tuning only is going to be able to take you so far. Even though tuning is very cutting edge right now on most all platforms and getting you over, 500 horsepower. Let's just take that as a blanket statement. Guys, you get to 500 horsepower and you get the taste on your lips and you want more. Upgraded stock drop-in turbos right now are a rage, and it's cool because it really lends itself into people becoming more of an enthusiast in the diesel game. And the more enthusiasts that we have, that's the lifeblood of our industry. So that's a cool thing.
Well,
so we answer tons. Yeah, Dodges. Yeah.
It's so easy for someone who's not even mechanically inclined to put a turbo on by themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And once they've done it, it's something that they're able to take that next step. So, I do want to talk. The funniest thing that happened to us all weekend was we were at S&S Diesel's booth, and Justin Norris, I'm going to say another thing about him, and then I won't be able to brag on him anymore because he'll get the big head, but he introduced me to a magnetic koozie. I'd never seen one in my life.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so a koozie that you put a beer in, it's got a magnet on it, you can stick it to something metal, holds your beer. It's great. Yeah. So that was cool. I got one of those. That was pretty cool. Yeah.
It's a little.
No. Hey, and shout out to the guys at RLC, man, and the Track Pep crew for Crossville Dragway. Never seen a crew that worked as hard. That's not true. I've seen the guys down at Emerald Coast work hard on this too, but did a really, really good job of track prep, getting the track ready after some friggin' hard rains that we had down there. Yeah.
Two oil downs.
Yeah, and had oil down too. I know Stainless had one. Had a fuel line came up.
Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, and so they did a really, really good job of getting that up, and I just thought they did a really good job. If you put on an event as big as what we do, and to see be able to get through that and get through it efficiently, it's awesome. It's really awesome. So kudos to those guys. What do you want to do now, Al?
You've got a question from a Chance Kerner in there. I don't think you answered.
They've been big for decades, my man.
What are you laughing at?
Josh Wesley will most definitely change it. That's it.
Did you get the one about the ATS 3000?
Josh Wesley.
The Aurora 3000?
Get there. All right. Hey, was wondering how your Aurora 3000 holding up as well as your second valve, your 24 valve as well as the turbo works with the auto trans setup. I have the exact setup. In an auto trans, it's a 4G Raptor lift pump. Chance, I really like the Aurora 3000. I do, and I came out of a 6480 Charger that's on my truck. So we're talking about a 2001 Chevrolet, 2001 Dodge, my VP44, my red truck. Originally had 150 horsepower, just slobbering ass injectors in it, edge comp box, and it had a 6480 Charger, generic 6480 Borg Charger on it. I went to DDP 75 horsepower injectors. I'm going to call it MM3 tuning. I went to Smarty Touch and had some custom work done on my tune. And then we did ATS sent down the manifold, intake manifold, and the Aurora 3000 for us to try out. I love that Charger. And I talk about that all the time on this show. This Charger's not going to make huge horsepower, but the truck is crisp, it's clean. Even with this truck on its highest level on Smarty, you don't get tons and tons of smoke out of it with the injector, so it's just a pleasure to drive. It's just very, very nice. I definitely suggest the Aurora 3000. I hauled a load, not to keep talking about cattle, but I hauled a load of cattle 2 weeks ago. Over some pretty hilly country going into northern Kentucky. I never saw an EGT over 1100 degrees in a sustained pull. I really like that Charger. It's a very basic little Charger, but for you guys that have tried to go to the 600 horsepower plateau in a VP44 truck, but yet you want to come back and try to make something that's a little bit funner to drive, I definitely suggest the Aurora 3000.
How much did it clean up the smoke on your truck?
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. I mean, you can't.
Yeah, which is nice for your cows. Yeah, we don't need our cows.
Yeah, we don't want cows dying of soot insulation. But yeah, no, Chance, I love it. I definitely, if you're looking at one, I'm definitely signing off on it. I know there's a lot of drop-in Chargers out there that are very nice, and kudos to all those guys. I really, really like the Aurora 3000. Not just saying that because they sent it down to us for a prototype. The Charger works. I really, really like it.
Got one from Thomas E. Cole in there?
Yeah, I saw a 12, 3500 RAM, 35,000 miles. Just had second set of O2 sensors replaced. They tell me they were suited up. What can I do to prevent this from happening? Thomas, I'd like to know what kind of tuning that you've got on the truck and the condition of your EGR. So I give it to you in a couple of different ways. So you could have tuning on there that's just not good tuning. Too much duration in it. Just not a very good tune. And your EGR quality. If you've got a highly suited up EGR and maybe a compromised EGR system, and you're possibly getting a little bit wetter EGR that's running through the truck, this is going to lend itself back out to the back side of this, and you're going to get premature clogging and sooting up of the DPF. So all this system works in unison together. So I'm going to tell you that you're really, really going to need to check and make sure that you've got good quality tuning. If it's a stock truck, then that would be something you want to lend itself to, maybe something mechanical going on. You could even have an injector issue. So a lot of different possibilities there. And no, that's it, man. Jaron Holder, I love you, man. You big tall sucker. I saw where Harper got high today at the dentist. I thought that was pretty cool. That was my biggest laugh for the day.
Harper, his little girl.
Yeah, his little girl. She's cute. Awesome. All right, Keith Isaacs, best injector and turbo for a 12 valve, looking for 500 horsepower. 12 valve turbo, looking for a straight 500 horsepower. Keith, big thing here is timing. Make sure that you do the correct timing setup. I just throw out a couple of general numbers. We'll stay in the instance of ATS, since we've talked about ATS turbo. You could only do an ATS Aurora 5000. A good quality man to do the timing on your truck. Set of light delivery valves, probably 100 horsepower injectors. I'd say you'll probably get there pretty easily. It's not going to be a whole lot of fun to drive with that, but if that's what you're looking for, that's probably going to be where you're at. Thomas Cole, bone stock. You're probably going to want to look for something mechanical going on with the truck, man. If you're having O2 sensors getting sooted up like that, probably something mechanical, maybe a slobber and injector EGR system already breaking down on you or something like that. So have them go through that really, really good.
I want to interrupt real quick, and then we'll go into sales. Guys, if you're watching and you're still on here at this point, you like this. Please take a second and turn it on notifications so you get these every Thursday.
Yeah.
Even if you don't watch the whole time, if you log on, it gives us kind of fuel for the fire to keep doing these.
Yeah.
We like doing these. We want to keep doing them, but we got to have people watching and asking questions and stuff.
And Thomas, I want to say another thing about your truck. I didn't really realize. I read it and I didn't hear it. 35,000 miles on that truck. That is a low number of miles for an almost 9-year-old truck. Now you're doing the truck. If it's doing a lot of idling, this could lend itself to what you've got going on. The truck just sitting and possibly getting bad fuel in it. So there's a couple of different things that could be going on there, man. That's a lot. That's not very many miles on that truck. 02 Dodge 4x4 quad cab 2500, 114,000 miles. Dang. Hail damage, needs new dash and HVAC. How much should I sink into an 18-year-old truck? Mark, it depends on how much you want to sink into it. I know LMC has got the dash coverings for a pretty reasonably cheap. The job is a little bit labor intensive, but it's not that bad. The HVAC system, once you get into there and you fix your blend door and all the crap that goes on with that, it's not that much, man. I'm going to tell you.
What can you get out of those trucks? I mean, it depends on the paint, in all honesty, a lot too.
Yeah.
Because people look at the exterior and make a quick judgment on a truck without having done any looking at the engine or anything. So
yeah.
I know that might sound dumb, but
yeah, it depends on what you.
When you're selling a truck based on pictures on Facebook Marketplace, the quality of your pictures matters.
But if you're keeping the truck, if this truck, let's say this truck, taxes, tax value on this truck's $8,900, which is what mine is on my old ones. If you think you're going to try to get that for the vehicle, then that's what you put in to be able to recoup that. If you're going to keep it at your house, sky's the limit, man. It just depends on how pretty you want.
Worth having a truck that runs that you can work on.
Ryan Purcell said that talking about the cylinder block conversion kit again on that, man. Really, if this failure was not there before you did this, you're just going to want to take everything back down, recheck all of your recheck your installation. Torque on the bolts on the governor cylinder block is very, very critical for not getting cross leaks inside of the valve body. So check that out. That's going to be the first thing I'm going to tell you there for sure.
Let's get the next two, Ryan Mallory and then Stephen Rios, and then we'll wrap up for that.
All right, let's see. Let's get Rios because I saw Josh Wesley's got in here and answered for him. Need a good tuner choice for somebody. Economical, slight increased performance. Have just done a baby bulletproof 6.0, yes, SET X4 SET tuning, if that's what you're going to go with. That's great. It also gives you the ability to get custom tuning that can be loaded on the X4 tuner and used down the road there.
If you want monitor,
GTX
is awesome.
The GTX is probably going to be going away soon too, but we really, really like that. You can check out our installation video. It has the exact same tunes on it as what the X4 does, but I really, really like the GTX. I really like it. Yeah, I love the monitor. It was a good one for sure. Second gen swap 18 comes. What size turbo would be recommended on stock injectors? Towing 16K camper occasionally. Ryan S400. You want to stay in that S400 frame charger. A smaller charger is going to be like a S64. It's probably going to be my suggestion to you. 6.7 moves a lot of air well, so it will spool a little bit larger turbo than what you're normally used to talking in. That would be my suggestion to you. We have those kits and Bighorn kits on the website that will have a breakdown of that and show you what each different size turbo is capable of doing for you. But I would say the S64. Just a generic size charger would get you where you want to be there. All right, so we're good. You want to do sales now? I'm going to say this, and I don't know this, and Adam doesn't know this either, but the fast sale is supposed to come down tomorrow. I do not know that that's going to happen.
I haven't even heard the sniff of it. Going to continue yet, though.
Yeah, we have not heard. We have not heard one word about it being continued, but we have not heard one word about it being taken down. Normally with fast, what we hear when they're supposed to come down is they will email us and say, "Hey, make sure you get the sale down." We're not hearing that, so look tomorrow on the website because we have to know by tomorrow whether this thing's going to be up. Should know by then. The PRXB exhaust brakes are still 20% off. That is a really, really good one if you have a truck that you don't have the exhaust brake already integrated into your turbo, BGT wise. If you're thinking about that and want to increase your stopping power on your camper and stuff, check out a pack brake. GDP 6-position chips are $140 right now. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, if you drive a 7.3, that's a stupid cheap way to get into a chip.
Yeah. And that's it. What are you doing this weekend, Adam Craig?
I don't know that I'm doing anything this weekend.
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited about it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So we got back home 3:30 in the morning from Rocky Top, so it's going to be good to have a weekend off. So, guys, thank you all for watching. You all do your best to try to take care of each other, be a great American. Just be patient right now, man. So thank you all for everything. If you need anything, just give us a call or reach out to us on Facebook. We'll be glad to help you. Thanks for watching.